Howdy y'all, Tex here. I'll be through hiking the Appalachian Trail starting in early to mid-March of this year, and in today's video I'd like to talk to you about packing all of your gear within your pack. You've done the research on all your gear, you've finally gotten it in, you're super stoked about it, you've got your pack in, you are ready to go, but how are you gonna fit all this stuff in your pack? I'm going to walk you through that today. Keep in mind first that gear will vary from person to person and also varies depending upon the season. Packs can also be quite different. Some have brains and zippers on the bottom for sleeping bags. So what I'll show you today is how I pack my gear in this particular pack for a early to mid-March start on the Appalachian Trail. So let's get started. When you're deciding where to locate the items inside your pack, you want to consider the order of operations. The things that you are going to be using often throughout the day, you want to keep in easily accessible areas. The items that you're not going to be using until the end of the day when you're at camp, well, they can go way down in the bottom of your pack. Most packs are water resistant but not waterproof, so the majority of people opt to have a pack liner inside their main compartment to protect against rain. For the interior compartment of the pack, you want to put something on the very bottom that supports all of the items on top and fills in all the nooks and crannies. So you're going to put your sleeping bag or your quilt on the bottom. Some people put it in there just loose to fill in all the corners. The bag I'll use for the start of my hike is really quite large, so I'll use this dry bag as a compression sack. And in it goes. I'm going to stand this bag vertically. Next item is my air pad, which I'm also not going to be using until the end of the day at camp. I'm going to stand this vertically on the side of my sleeping bag so that they're side by side. I'll also not be using my sleepwear until the end of the day, so my thermals are going to go in this bottom layer as well. I have a top and a bottom, and I'm just going to shove them down in between the sleeping bag and the air pad to fill up any extra gaps. I keep all of my smaller items that I use at camp in a Hyperlite mountain gear pod. What I like about this is that it keeps you organized, of course, for my personality type, but also the shape of these pods are the same shape as the interior of your pack. Since this is pretty flat, I'm just go ahead and smush this down horizontally as the next thin layer in my pack. I'm now at the layer that's going to be sitting right against my back. You always want to put your heaviest items right here so that it's balanced well for your hike. So that's going to be the food bag. I'm going to stand this vertically right against my back. Quick side note, if after camp it's a little damp and my food bag is wet, it's not going to go inside the pack liner, but I'll instead just put it right inside the pack. Up next, I keep the tent towards the top of my pack because when I get to camp, I'm going to want to grab this first and pitch my tent. I place this horizontally right in front of the food bag so that they're in the same layer. The food bag is flat against my back, and then this tent is right in front of it. Another side note, if my tent is wet, I do not put it inside the pack liner either. I'll be bringing a 1 ounce mesh bag that I'll put my tent in whenever it's wet, and I will strap this to the top of my pack so that it can drain. And then whenever I sit down for a break or lunch, I'll pitch the tent and let it dry out. The final items that'll go in the top of the main compartment are the items that I may need to grab and use quickly. For breaks or lunchtime, I may need my puffy coat. So since this is very important to keep dry, I always want to be sure I keep it inside the waterproof pack liner. And then also my fleece jacket if it's warm enough that I'm not wearing it while hiking. A good trick for putting these in your pack is to cram these down in between your top items. So I have my food bag and my tent. I'm going to cram those into the corners between those two items. That will reduce how tall my pack is. And if you just have one little sleeve sticking up from the top, if and when you need to grab your items, you just grab this sleeve. It's real easy to pull out. Thank you, Scott Large Pizza, for that tip. And with all those items in there, I'm ready to roll down and close my pack. I'll do my pack liner first and then the pack itself. And I like to keep my closed cell foam sit pad right on top of my pack so that it's easy to unclip and use at breaks. There we go. Next, I'm going to be packing the outside pocket on the back of my pack. I'm going to put items in here that I'm going to be using throughout the day so that they're a little more easily accessible than what's inside the main compartment that we just packed. Again, since my pack is water resistant but not waterproof, I carry one shopping bag to act as a pack liner for this pocket. I don't put everything in here, but just the items where it would matter if they do get wet. For example, if I have my fleece hat or my mittens in there. So I'll just leave this in the very bottom. I keep my first aid and emergency repair kit in a quart-size Ziploc bag. I'm gonna put this down in the bottom of this pocket as well. I keep my bathroom kit in a gallon Ziploc bag, and I put it in next because you never know when nature is going to call. Next, rain gear. I have a jacket and a pant. I'm going to stand these vertically within the pocket so that they're real easy to grab. Next are a few food items. I have a bag with my spoon, my knife, lighter, and bandana. I'll keep that here for lunchtime. Then I have a quart-size bag with my lunch for the day. I keep this separate from the rest of my food so that when I break for lunch, it's right here and ready to eat. And a gallon Ziploc bag that I'll use to keep my trash in. If I'm not gonna be using my mittens most likely for the day, I'll put them in here. Ball cap, sunglasses, and my Garmin InReach Mini. A lot of people put them on their shoulder strap. I found last year that if I put it right on top of this pocket, it still is able to connect throughout the day. Okay, next pocket. We're gonna look at the two on the sides of the bag next. I'll keep my water bottles in one side. The bottle that I'm actively drinking out of, I keep in a pocket on my shoulder strap. I keep a second bottle, mostly to fill up for camp. I generally do not carry a 2 liter of water throughout the day. And then I carry a separate water bottle that I use for my electrolyte mix. And those both go in this pocket. And for the other side, I'm taking an umbrella this year. Very excited about it. Dirty water bag. Water filter. Now, if it is warm enough that it's not going to be freezing during the day, I can put it in my pack right here. If it is freezing when it's earlier in the year and I'm first starting out, I will instead keep this in a Ziploc bag, first to keep the water off of me, but then I'll keep it against my body, either in my jacket pocket or in a pant pocket so that it doesn't freeze, because these guys, this is a little Sawyer filter, these cannot freeze. And my electrolyte mix will go in this pocket too. And finally, down to just the hip belt pockets. I put the items here that I'll want to keep easily accessible throughout the day that I may be using one or multiple times. First, I keep little packs of pills. I have Pepto-Bismol as well as a painkiller, travel size sunscreen, chafing gel, hand sanitizer, chapstick with sunscreen, and in wintertime with wiping my nose so much, the sides of my nose get very dry, so I'll bring along, for the first stretch, a little travel size Aquaphor bottle. In the other hip belt pocket, I keep a blister kit. I have a strip of Leuko tape, miniature scissors, and also a safety pin in case you need to pop a blister. Headphones. Keep in mind that my hip belt pockets are not waterproof, so anything that is water sensitive like these, I'll be sure to protect in a little bag. My pack does not have a whistle on the sternum strap, so I'll carry a little whistle. My headlamp, this guy is rechargeable. If I, like last year, had a headlamp with batteries, I would also include a second set of backup batteries. My favorite part, all my snacks that I'll be eating throughout the day. We've got some Nerds candies, my Mentos, and we'll tuck a candy bar in right here. And my last items, if I'm not hiking with my beanie or liner gloves on, but I may need them for later, I'll keep them in the hip belt pocket as well. And that is all the fully packed pack. Hope this was helpful in helping you pack for a future exciting trip of your own. If you liked this video, please hit that like button, of course. And if you'd like to, you're welcome to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the channel so you'll be notified of all future videos. As of this recording, I am about 2 weeks away of starting the Appalachian Trail, and I cannot wait. I'm considering doing a Q&A video before leaving, so if you have any questions, you're welcome to leave them in the comments below. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys.